Manchester United smashed 4 goals past Chelsea. They reply with one, 4-1 in the end, and Champions League football is secured for Manchester United. They currently sit third in the Premier League table, and it's a world away from where everybody expected Man United to be, especially after the opening game of the season at Old Trafford against Brighton, where they were beaten 2-1 but convincingly outplayed. And then at halftime, the anger and the emotion running through Man United fans, 4-0 down away at Brentford. There appeared to be absolutely no chance, no way on God's green earth that Man United make the top 4. Everybody wrote us off. Everybody predicted we'd finish outside of it, barring Dion Dublin, I believe, the only professional pundit to say United would do it. However, secured tonight in the Champions League. A big summer needed because this Man United team still needs to improve massively. There is no doubt about that whatsoever. Nowhere near the finished article, but a brilliant first season for Eric Ten Hag, which could be cemented with an FA Cup victory. Massive underdogs against Manchester City, if you look at what most rivals say, most pundits say as well. But a brilliant first season in the Premier League, no doubt. Defied the odds, finishing in a top 4 position, generating the income needed now to go again in the transfer window to improve further. Because next year, we want more possession. We want to dominate more games. And I want more of what we saw tonight, killing teams off, finishing teams off, because it was Chelsea's biggest defeat of the season. For as bad as it's been, nobody's put more than 3 goals past them this year. And Man United did tonight. But this needs to happen on a far more regular basis, more killings. And when we look at today's game in isolation, I was very angry at halftime. I'm not going to lie. 2-0 up, but I was angry. And I was angry because we were conceding too many chances to Chelsea in the first half after taking the lead and dominating for the opening 20 to 25 minutes. But in that opening 25 minutes, it should have been 2 or 3. Sancho with some really poor decision-making on the ball, overhitting a pass to Bruno Fernandes. And then there was twice in the game where easy balls on the inside, and one from him, and we would have taken the lead. He chose to go inside rather than on the outside. And then there was a good pass from Anthony before he went off injured to Martial, and a bad touch let him down. And I felt we should have taken those opportunities, turned them into goal-scoring chances, and put the game beyond Chelsea in that opening 20 to 25 minutes. It was an emphatic start, but a weak and unclinical display from United up front. We got that second goal though at the end of the first half, and we came out in the second, and it was a much improved and better performance. Bruno hitting the post straight away. It felt like almost from the first whistle. Should have scored. A lovely layup from Sancho there. There was other opportunities for us in the game as well, just narrowly wide. Good blocks from defenders and goalkeepers. And then you're starting to look at it and you're thinking to yourself, are we in a little bit of trouble here? Are we gonna not kill this game off and Chelsea gonna come on strong later on down the line? Remember, in the first half, they had more shots than we did. Second half, we almost doubled their shot count, there's no doubt. But then we get a penalty from a sublime, cheeky, naughty, astoundingly good piece of skill from Bruno Fernandes, nutmegs Fofana, taken down for a penalty. And once he put that away, it was game, set, and match. United then started to play and have a little bit of fun. A good bit of pressing at the back led to another Fofana mistake. Rashford gets his goal. Good for a confidence boost for him, and it's 4-0. Then it really should have been 5, 6, 7, 8. The post, some blocks, a few little bits of poor finishing, and United couldn't add insult to injury tonight. And then Felix scores a very good goal on the counter. United, for me, I was a little frustrated that we'd switched off playing again. We need to remain more resolute and more concentrated. But overall, a resounding win for Man United. A very good way to end the season with our biggest victory of the season. There's been so many games, and I know that Staffy will say this. I know KJ will back me on this. There's been so many games like today where we should have scored 3, 4, 5, 6, and we haven't done it. That's another thing for Man United to do next year. It's another thing for Manchester United to do next year is to add that extra 1 or 2 goals per game that we're dominating in. Now, I want to talk about a certain player tonight, man of the match again, signing of the season, Casemiro. This man, look, sometimes he's sloppy in possession, But that's never been his game. He is not peak Iniesta. That isn't his game. He is a holding midfield player. But this season, he's developed an eye for goal. 7 goals in all competitions. Another one with his head. He is a secret weapon for Manchester United. And he's been phenomenal at picking up important goals this year. The equaliser against Chelsea. The winner against Bournemouth last week. The opening goal today to help relieve nerves. One in a cup final as well. But his overarching display surrounding that goal today was nothing short of sensational. And they laughed at Man United when they spent 50 odd million pounds on him. Why are you giving him a 4-year deal? He's already past his best. He's absolutely not. United will get another 3 great seasons out of this guy. There's no doubt about it. Yes, we need to build up behind him and have somebody coming through in a couple of years' time. But what a season. What a display. And the no-look pass, and I didn't mention it when I mentioned our second goal because I wanted to do that exclusively when talking about Casemiro. The no-look pass to Jadon Sancho in the build-up to that second goal was naughty. Borderline illegal. Legitimately, Sky have already announced they are not showing the highlights of that on YouTube. It's been moved to Pornhub. Legit. Into the extreme section. It was saucy. It was naughty. It was on a Gary Neville, mate. It was amazing. And Gary Neville means level. It's Cockney rhyming saying. On a Gary, it was a madness. And it typifies his season. And if this man can perform like this in the FA Cup final, there's half a chance. We need a good Bruno performance. We need a good Rashford performance. We need a good Sancho performance. We need our defensive line to be resolute. It's going to be very difficult to beat this Man City team with the form they are in. But we'll cross that bridge another day. So proud of Casemiro tonight. So happy with the boys for the overall season performance. And people in the comment section saying I don't look happy. I am happy. I'm genuinely happy. It feels like the last 5 or 6 weeks have been a bit of a slug. We got dragged into a situation that I thought we were clear of. So there was a bit of frustration there. But from my point of view, also I'm a little bit red in the face because I went for a hard run today. I finished 3 hours ago and I'm still hot. Legit. That's how on foot I am. But I've already lost 3 pounds this week. I'm doing good. I'll be back in shape in no time. But from my point of view, proud of this team. No doubt about it whatsoever. And I said at the top of the video, and I'll say it again, when you think back to that Brentford game, 4-0 down, Man United season looked as though it could be heading to where Spurs are now, where Chelsea are now. Chelsea on course, by the way, for their worst finish since they got relegated. The worst top flight finish since they got relegated. That is where people believe Man United were heading. So this isn't no finished team. I don't even want to talk about what phase we're in. We know we're in a rebuild. But with the right summer and new owners, this team has got to move towards challenging next year. Not winning, maybe, but challenging, being a better outfit, being a better side. But we sit third in the Premier League. There isn't a person on planet Earth who predicted Man United coming third. The overachievement this season for us is palpable, but you can't rest on your laurels. You can't celebrate that forever. You have to move on. Next year, I look at the fact that we're, only 9 points behind Arsenal. I swear we're about 20 points behind them only a matter of weeks ago. We're much further off of Man City, but I want that gap closed next year. By this stage, with 1 game to go next season, I want to be in the mid-80s. Bare minimum, mid-80 points, high 80s even. That's where I want to be next year. I want that improvement because I believe that this team has got there's a skeleton that's been created, a foundation that's being created. It just needs more to be purchased. I'm very, very proud of the team. There's no doubt about it in my mind. From a Chelsea standpoint, listen, I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to say this, and I mean it. There's some players in your team. Enzo Fernandez is a footballer, a very good footballer. The one I'd be worried about is João Felix, because although he's saying he wants to stay, there's no option. And I do think if Ati don't want him, somebody else with Champions League football might snap this guy up. But there's a player in him. Madueke, there's a player in there. There's some good footballers at your club. They just need a coach, a top quality coach, to get in amongst them, to bring their a confident Chelsea team scores 2 or 3 of those goals tonight. A confident forget buying a killer striker. A confident Chelsea team scores 2 or 3 of those goals. Some of the football, and by the way, some of the football you played away against Arsenal, some of the football I've seen you play this season in multiple games against City has been good. But it's knitting it all together. That is the key component. Terrible season for Chelsea, and I'm sure that there isn't a single Chelsea fan on planet Earth who I don't think there's a single Chelsea fan out there that is looking forward to the final game of the season. They just want it done. A couple of weeks rest and then start focusing on what their club's going to do to start legitimately rebuilding their confidence, their squad. Well, they've got to rebuild their squad. They've got to knock off their squad down before they add any more to it. But you catch my drift. You know, and there was a part of it. I wanted to win. I wanted to win convincingly tonight on the scoreline. And there were some hairy moments. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. And that's for our club to improve on. But I wanted a scoreline like this for a number of reasons. And it has nothing to do with Chelsea. It's all about my club. I wanted us to score some goals and try and get a bit of confidence amongst us again. You saw Rashford's celebration and Bruno's celebration. It's like they're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. They've got to lose that in the next week.